What's up, everybody? Welcome to a PlayStation Conversation. I'm Greg Miller, and this is the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Hello.
Colin.
Yes.
We happen to be on Podcast Beyond, the #1 podcast for PlayStation on the internet. We have a lot of great fans. Fans like Matt. Matt writes into Beyond at IGN.com, just like you can at home. And he says, the day this Beyond gets posted, April 2nd, will be my 17th birthday. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I was wondering what you guys think would be the best first M-rated game I could buy legally just because I can. Well, I came to you with this idea earlier. We're going to give you a 3. We're going to alternate off. So I'm going to start.
Okay.
GTA 3. Not 4. GTA 3. Not 5. We don't know anything about GTA 5. GTA 3 is the game that pretty much made it, the M for mature means something. It's the game that made us all go, we need a ratings board because this guy's beating hookers to death in the street. You need to play this, young man, so you know the history of video games. I mean, you remember when GTA 3 came out.
He was like, God, how old is he? Like 5? When GTA 3 came
God,
out?
is that true?
That's...
Oof, that's disturbing
I
to
know,
think
isn't
about.
it?
That's
Yeah, I think he was
good.
5 years old.
And that's the thing, you take it all for granted now, these open sandbox games where you get to go anywhere, do anywhere. This blew my mind. Do anywhere.
I'll tell you what.
When I saw the first screenshots in EGM for GTA 3, and it was like, it's taking everything great about GTA and putting it into the third dimension, letting you walk around it, I couldn't get over it. It's such a great game, and it's so violent. You should go play it.
Yeah, GTA 3 is a good choice. I would suggest GTA 4.
Too late. Is that one of your picks? That's what you're saying?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not one of my picks. My first pick is Resistance 3 right now. Now, obviously, you know, people on Podcast Beyond know that I have a very soft spot in the old heart here in the chest.
Well,
for Resistance 3.
You gotta have a heart first to have a soft spot.
And Resistance 3 is it's a culmination of a trilogy done by Insomniac Games. You know them from Ratchet and Clank probably, or maybe Disruptor on the original PlayStation. But Resistance 3 I really think is one of the best shooters of all time, especially in terms of its story. It's dark and dire, and I think it kind, even though you're fighting kind of the aliens in the form of the Chimera, still really gory and violent game, and I think it's a beautiful culmination of that story. And I suggest all those games, but Resistance 3 is the best one of them all. So jump in there.
All right, interesting you bring up story. My next pick, The Walking Dead, the game. I mean, obviously we don't have to talk long about this. Just last year, it was up for Game of the Year, got all these nominations, all these awards. It's all over. It's everywhere. It changed adventure games, I think. I still think a decade from now, we're going to look back at what gaming has become, where the adventure game has gone, and we're going to see that as a turning point. The fact that it doesn't have to be about how Object A interacts with Object B. It can just be about story, and then on top of that, a whole bunch of adult themes, emotions the game makes you feel. Really great stuff. Yeah,
that's a fantastic choice. I'm gonna say Catherine next.
Okay.
Catherine's from Atlas. It's a quirky Japanese game that I think some people ignored, but it actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't ignore it. It's about a guy who has a girlfriend that wants to marry him.
Yeah. But settle down, as the kids
But then he goes and gets drunk at a bar one night, meets a really hot girl named Catherine.
Yeah.
By the way, his fiance is also named Catherine.
Well, this is confusing.
This is Catherine with a C, and he ends up cheating on her.
Yeah.
The game is super adult oriented. The story is awesome. And it's choice based, and it's quite adult themed in the sense that it asks people questions about relationships and things of this nature. Games don't usually broach those kinds of subjects. I highly recommend Catherine.
Right, especially for a 17-year-old. Come on, you gotta start thinking about these life choices. My final pick, Heavy Rain. Again, you probably missed it. You went into GameStop. You said, "Give me this game." They said, "Show me some ID," and you said, the man's keeping me down. Heavy Rain, another great story from Quantic Dream. The guys who are, of course, right now doing Beyond Two Souls, getting ready for that with Alan Page. But Heavy Rain, the story of who is the origami killer and why is he killing these kids and what's going.
Who's the clown with the balloon? That's what.
That was the epilogue we're all waiting for. DLC chapter number 2. But again, you have to go out and catch this serial killer who's doing some really so it's fun to play.
Can you say on a PlayStation conversation?
On an IGN PlayStation conversation?
Yeah. I'm gonna say, talking about games, Greg.
Yeah.
Spec Ops: The Line.
Ooh.
That's my final suggestion. Now, Greg, I'm gonna say something bold about Spec Ops: The Line. It is probably the single most underrated game of the entire generation, and in terms of story, tells a story much better than most of the video games you've ever played. It's about a soldier, or a group of soldiers, really, that go into post-apocalyptic kind of future Dubai, in which it's been taken over by a rogue group of American soldiers. And the game tells a story where you actually start to hate your character, and you have to make really hard decisions. It's really, really good, really dark, really deep. Highly recommend it to everyone. Everyone that plays it, especially when they comment to me on Twitter, it says how much they love it and how right I was, because I am right about video games, Greg. So,
yeah. you're right sometimes. This is interesting. Again, we're, the 17-year-old there, he's just getting out into the world. We're recommending all these mature games, and we're really hanging our hat on story, right? Making adult decisions. I think it kind of shows how far games have come, right? And it could have easily been, we'll play Punisher where you're shoving the guy in the shredder and all this. No, it's,
Go
there's
play
all
Splatterhouse.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't play Splatterhouse.
No, don't play Splatterhouse.
No.
Matt, happy birthday so much. Matt has a PS. Tell Goldfarb I finished 1999 mode in Bioshock Infinite without dollar bill machines in 2 days. It's quite easy. He should try it.
I'm going to try it.
Well, Goldfarb won't because he's a huge for everything about video games. Rated M or anything below that. Not above it. We don't do the adult-only stuff. Keep it here on IGN. Beyond.